Okay, we're here and we are recording for April. It's a little bit of a change this time. Instead of the author interview being at the beginning of the month, we're going to have it in the second episode, and that's literally down to conflicts in schedule.
I fucked up.
Crystal fucked up. No, to be fair, it's difficult getting people across the other side of the world to be able to line up with us over here.
Especially if you don't contact them.
There's that. I'm trying to save your ass here, and you're just like full on plunging there, like it's my fault. It's okay.
No, didn't I tell you when I was a child I would like go do things, and if I was wrong, I'd like walk in the house and tell myself.
I don't know why.
I just never outgrew that.
Okay, so basically in the second half of April, hopefully we will have some authors to interview. So until then, we're just going to do one of our rambles as we do.
Right.
The last episode was really bookish, wasn't it?
It was.
It was super, super bookish. And I think that was quite cool. We have started the Name the Beaver. By the time this
it's not
airs...
just me, name a beaver.
No, not just anybody's random beaver. It's our mascot beaver.
Oh, speaking of, do you know on the way here there's an outhouse in one of the round points? And the name on it is Fanny?
Yes, that is the one. That is the one that Angie always points to every time we go past it, and I laugh.
Okay.
That is the one.
Okay, I noticed that today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always keep on mean to mention it to you, but I'm too busy laughing at the fucking thing while I'm going past. So by the time this airs, it will be over. The voting will be over, and whoever has won will be a character in my Christmas book, so that's kind of cool.
And you'll get a vibrator in the mail if you want one.
Yeah, that as well. So
I won't like push it on you. I've done that with other people. It's worked out okay. Oh, Sally. We still need to get a hold of Sally.
we do. We're lacking. Oh well.
We could probably call her right now.
We probably could, but yes, we'll get hold of Sally at some point. So speaking of your vibrator,
Yeah.
Barbara Winks shared about Broken Parts Included. Somebody commented and said it was a very good book and all that, and then she says, but I do wonder if Alison's getting commission for the star of the in brackets star of the book. And I didn't quite understand. I was like, what are you talking about? What character, what star? And she was like, she made it clear she meant the vibrator. I was like, no, I'm not getting commission. I'm just a big fan. That's it. So there you go, folks. I do not get commission on vibrators. I put it in my book
you got a free
because
one.
It's great.
Yes. And I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I did get a report that there are certain ways to work that thing that are even better than solo journeys.
Is that your way of not putting me on the spot? Do you know what? Fine. Yes, that was me. I did report that there is a great way to use the Sea Star, and that was with a strap. So it was two things at the same time was pretty mind-blowing. There we go.
Right? And then I asked my sister about it, who does not use a strap. She actually uses a man who has a penis.
Ew. Okay.
All right, yeah. Like, her life is a shit show dumpster fire right now, but she has found somebody that is giving her, like, the most amazing sex of her life.
Good on her.
Yeah, and she did say that the combination was next level.
Yeah, see? I do not lie.
I don't think that anybody lies. I think that, no, I sell that thing because it is the most amazing thing I've ever met in my life.
It is.
I mean, my wife, yes. And then the Sea Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though...
Okay, my children. Never mind.
Sea Star or children. But the thing is, though, is that it's difficult. You can't compare being with your partner to just having a toy. Having your partner and a toy together, match made in heaven.
Right.
You know?
But now you can have a partner and a toy and a toy.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I do know that some partners get a little bit upset with toys, and
yes,
I understand to a degree because I think that's an ego thing. They don't want to be replaced
it's a huge ego thing,
by silicon.
Yeah.
But I think you look at what it is, and it's fun. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's got to be the fun of it, you know. Fine, if you're fucking your missus off because you'd rather play with a toy than her, okay, I get the ego problem there.
Right.
But
well, in the L room, there was somebody that was saying that, you know, there was a problem with their relationship because one of them had no sex drive and the other one did, and she just didn't even know what to do. I don't understand why there isn't a way that she could have just turned to her partner and said, you know, it's okay that you don't have this sex drive, and I do, and I'd really like to be able to do this.
Absolutely, because that's really common. That one partner has a higher sex drive than the other.
They don't match.
Not at all. And I think maybe that's a bit of a failing on romance books where that's concerned, the reality of it.
Right.
Because often in books, when you read a sex scene, they've either got really equal sex drive and you're going at it all the time or whatever.
Well, it's because it's that beginning of a relationship, and it's all the
it's honeymoon phase, as you say, isn't it?
But once you get out of that, which is, after a year or two, then you've got to figure out how to, make sure that everybody is satisfied.
Absolutely. And I would much rather my partner come to me and say, I'd like sex more than you. I'm going to masturbate more. I'm like, all right, then get on with it. Because
Well, and there's such a shame and guilt if you were to do it next to them while they're there.
And that can be fun too.
Right? Like, well, because Catherine is such...
She's broken.
She's broken both her wrists. She's broken her pelvis. I mean, there's just not a lot that we can do together.
Yeah.
But what we can do is both use that either together or separately. And we do it separately. We have two of them. There's one in the shower and there's one in the nightstand. And, if I'm in the mood and she is not, I don't have to have guilt.
Absolutely. And I think that should be a general thing with in a relationship. There should never be guilt between
But it's
partners.
Such a huge aspect. Because it took me a long time, because I was raised so sheltered and under a religious veil.
Yeah.
I mean, not to the point that many people are, but it was always that you don't do that.
Yeah.
And then later, when I found out that my mother did that, holy shit, I was still like, that wasn't for me. It's been like, I didn't really have my sexual awakening and comfort with my body and myself until after I met Catherine. And I was 38.
Yeah.
And then I got comfortable with my body, and she was a big help for that. And now it's to the point where, like, C-Star really came out of necessity.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of people out there that can benefit from that necessity.
And I think the one thing that is also lacking is the information not even information, it's the awareness of why some toys are easier for couples to use because of limitations within their sex life. Right. And that's why in Broken Parts Included, I included it because there's times when a woman either doesn't like penetration or can't have it because it hurts.
Yes.
And adding a toy helps with that. It adds a bit more fun with the partner, that sort of thing, I don't think that awareness is there just yet.
It's
that toys
just not.
Can be really a necessity for some couples.
Right. It's funny because I will talk to anybody about the C-Star, and I will hand out the cards and I will mail them, and I have no problem with that. But in my personal life, what I grew up with makes it really hard to overcome discussing it with Catherine, who has always been very, very open.
I totally get that. I mean, I'm not allowed to talk a lot about my wife because she'll get upset with me.
Right.
But she's the first person that I've been able to explore with, and I think for her as well, because we're so comfortable together. And because growing up, I didn't have a really open mind when it came to sex. I grew up around heterosexuals, like you. Everybody was hetero. We didn't really speak about sex. I had sex education at school, which was crap.
Oh,
stick a condom on a banana. All right, thanks.
We didn't get that. I was in Utah.
Okay, you didn't even get that. You just got...
But I'm old enough that when they gave us the period talk, the pads didn't go in your underwear. There was a garter that they were...
Oh, wow.
Yes. And heaven forbid that anybody discussed the tampon. That was certain death. So
I remember really clearly in the sex talk that we had at school. I think we were in primary school actually, so coming to the end of primary school, and our teacher very nervously, because we're British, she don't talk about sex.
Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't even about sex. It was she put a tampon in a glass of water to show the effects, and you have never seen so many stunned children in your life. And I just remember this girl just putting her hand up really attentively, and she was like, how do you get it out? And to be fair, at that age, it was like a valid point. Yeah. You know, because you think, fuck me, it's going to plug you up. But that's all I remember of it, really.
My poor daughter, Raylan, they had their talk in 6th grade, and it was the girls' only side. And we were in Idaho at that point, which is not much more progressive than growing up in Utah, even 20 years later. But I was the only parent that showed up for that.
Wow, okay.
I was the only parent that actively participated to make sure that they were getting proper information.
I never had a talk with my parents, nothing. Yeah. Never.
So I didn't have to talk with my parents either.
Yeah, so when it then came to my time to become sexually active, I ain't got a freaking clue.
Oh, and when my period started, I hid in the basement for 3 days and told my mother I was sick. And she finally went, "You're not sick." And I'm like, "Okay, my period started." And it was like under the breath, "I'm going to die." And she was so excited. And I never figured out why.
My mother was.
Yeah. Like...
I rang her from school, because it happened at school. I rang her and I was like, "Mum, my period started." She announced it to her office.
Yeah.
It was like, "Mother, I see these people. Why are you telling them this?"
Right.
She was really excited. I was like, "All right then. Okay."
I mean, that's pretty much the failing of, us as children not getting any information.
Yeah.
We were giving nothing. And then where I was raised and how it was done was mostly just, it's bad unless it's marriage.
Yeah.
But I was raised around a lot of Mormons who, during that time, the women were raised to get married and have children. Mm-hmm. That leads me into a book that I have been reading.
Yeah.
Or that I just read. But, and I'll get back to that in a second. Yeah, we weren't talked to about prevention in any way. No, it was nothing. So, yeah, it was a free-for-all. And there were a lot of pregnancies in my high school.
Do you think the subject of religion and sexuality is still quite a touchy subject to hit on where books are concerned? We're writing it and reading it.
I think anything religious can be touchy in a book.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that just goes in with things you don't talk about, religion and politics. But there's so much religious trauma that people are putting that in books, and it is helping. Okay, that leads me straight. I can't talk without bringing this book up. Okay, so for those of you that are familiar with audiobooks, you'll know the name Natalie Nadas. She's one of the top narrators. What was that book, The Last Stop? Mm-hmm. She did that. Okay. And she takes projects that lean into her heritage, which is amazing, and lean into queer. She is bisexual, but married with kids. And let me get on my soapbox and say, if you are bisexual and married with kids, that is valid in the queer spectrum. And if you say it's not, then go the fuck away right now. Anybody on the queer spectrum belongs there, and it's valid, so I will die on that hill. Anyway, so Natalie has a presence on TikTok. I haven't been on TikTok for a long time, but I went on, and she has written her first book.
Okay.
And it goes back to her roots of being raised into a very conservative Christian religion. Most of us would know it as a cult.
Okay.
But they're very, very popular and big in the United States, especially in the South. Any of your religious people that you see giving sermons on TV, that's part of that.
Right.
So the main character, the name of the book is Pray the Gay Away. And the main character, her family starts into the religion later. But they're surrounded by families that are similar to the Duggars. The Duggars are very much that type of family.
Okay.
The man is the head of the household. Males are treated better. Women are not to be given, the ability to think. Mm-hmm. Because their only job is to grow up, get married, listen to their husband, and have children.
Yeah.
That is a lot like how I was raised, but it wasn't enforced in a homeschool environment. So I don't have that extreme trauma that would come out of that by, the main character not knowing the word bisexual until she was 17.
Yeah.
Not knowing about anything queer, anything gay, not being able to read or watch TV or anything. So completely sheltered. So this book is that journey for her to...
And it's called, it's not Pray the...
No, it's the opposite. It's a Gay the Pray Away. And I don't think it's out until the beginning of June or the end of June. Okay.
But it's one to keep an eye out for.
It is definitely one to keep an eye out for. If you've had any type of religious trauma, you'll definitely...
want to read it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is it triggering, or what do you think?
You know what? Natalie's amazing. She brings a lot of humor. So there is humor involved. Like the first time she hears that her religion is a cult, the poor little girl's head just about spins off.
Okay.
Like, you know when I say like the weird things and your neck spins?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
So Natalie is able to take a very touchy subject that could be very triggering for people and bring a lightness to it that is very helpful.
Awesome.
Now, if you are from that type of Christian cult, might be a little more careful.
Right. Yeah.
Because an aspect of training the children, and this is how I was raised. When you're sitting at the dinner table and you're eating, you're not given a choice. Mm-hmm. You eat what's on your plate. You don't complain about it. You don't say a word. And if in fact you do say something, there will be a corporal punishment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, there is that aspect in there. So that can be triggering for anybody.
I think so. I've read a couple of books where there's been religious upbringings in it, and I wasn't particularly brought up in religion. I'm Christian, but we didn't go to church or anything.
Right.
But even when I read that, it's sort of like, Jesus, you
right.
feel it in your soul, like this must have been awful to grow up in, and feel so oppressed that way.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can't imagine how it actually feels to somebody that it actually happened to.
Yeah, I can remember sitting on my bed waiting to get spanked, because there was that time of, you need to go think about it before we beat you. My dad wasn't very good at it. My mom wasn't very good at it, but every once in a while. Now my brother, on the other hand, he met that type of punishment like 5 times more often than I did. Wow. My mother had a wooden spoon because she was so tiny. She was just tiny. She needed an equalizer. I can remember a time my brother was like 7, and she whacked him and hit his leg, and the spoon was older, so it just broke the spoon.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're
gonna have to have a trigger warning on this fucking episode.
I was threatened with being smacked, but it was always a threat. It never. To be honest with you, it was my mum could give me that look, and it would make me shit my pants, and that'd be the end of that. And that's all she ever had to do, really. We were never beaten.
Well, yeah, and then that follows into, okay, so if I am going to be queer, how are people going to respond to me? Am I going to lose my whole family? Yeah. And that's a fear for everybody. Yeah. But when you add the religious aspect into it, it's heightened. Mm. It's much more heightened, because for some people there is no question of how they'll respond.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for every queer person that has to come out, you never can be 100% certain how anybody is going to react. Right. And let's be honest, you don't stop coming out. You're always coming out.
But to be fair, I also looked like I was going to be a card-carrying, toolbox-carrying lesbian from probably about the age of 3. 4. Yeah. And I've shown you pictures. Yeah, I was a 4-year-old with so much lesbian swagger. Yeah. On my bicycle with training wheels. Like, it shocks me. Yeah. With my with my Playboy Bunny t-shirt. Yeah. Yeah. And then on to 5th grade, where I had a full-on suit. Yes. So, yeah. I was very lucky that my parents were very much hippies. And I didn't have to worry about them, but I did have to worry about my grandparents and further on. And overall, everybody's been very good and very accepting. My grandmother, on my dad's side, her philosophy was, you can love somebody but not like them.
I detest that saying.
I do too. And that was that's how she did it. Was she loved me and she showed me love and she was there for me. But any aspect that was touching too close to the gay was a major problem for her. And it was mostly because of her that I ended up married to a man. Because she was the strongest influence in my life at that time.
I think that's a really difficult thing to overcome when, after you've come out and your family knows you're gay, when you end up only being able to coexist with these people when that thing about you that they know has to still be almost hidden. You just don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. We know, but we don't talk about it.
Right.
So we can be close as you want, but we don't talk about that side of you. So in essence, you're still shoved back into the closet because you can't be yourself around your family.
It's quiet shunned.
And I really recognised that when I started writing, and Ange asked me if I was going to write under a pen name. Mm-hmm. And I was like, shit, I'm not going to write under a pen name, because the very first thing that came to my mind is, what will people think of my parents?
Ah, yeah.
It was straight away, what about my family? What will be? And I had to really stop myself. Whoa, hang on a minute. I've been out 25 years.
Yeah.
What is happening? And then I realised I still had shame about. I was still hiding part of myself and still feeling ashamed of the fact that I'm a lesbian and I like to write spicy books or whatever.
That you're really good at.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that was a real point for me to stand and say, yes, I am going to write under my own name. I'm not going to write under a pen name. And that was really for me to reclaim my name and not be ashamed to say that I'm a proud lesbian and my name is Alison Root and I belong to that family.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't believe even after 25 years, I still carried that kind of mentality that I had to shy away and make sure I didn't draw attention to the fact that I'm a lesbian.
Right.
How nuts is that?
Yeah, it's, for so many of us, it takes so long, and it takes so much to get past that, to be able to accept who you are and love that part of you. And for all of those women that are now what they call late in life lesbians, we are here for you.
Absolutely.
If you need us to tell you that you're fine, we can say that all day long. You get to do this at your own pace.
And you get to be proud of who you are.
Right.
Exactly as you are.
Right.
There should be no hiding away parts of yourself to make somebody else happy.
Nope.
Even if it's just a perceived happiness that you want to make sure you're not doing this. No, just you have to know that as you are, you are loved.
Yes.
And that love should come from yourself 100%.
Right.
And I think it's one of the hardest lessons to learn.
Right.
As a queer person, I think.
I was talking to Kelly the other day, and we were talking about dealing with past trauma.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, how do you keep yourself together? You've been through so much, and yet you just keep going. Well, first of all, in life, you get a choice.
You do.
Everything, right or wrong, there is a choice to be made. And whether it's inside or outside, choose.
Yes. So
I started very early on seeing my life as choices. Choosing who I am, choosing to accept who I am, choosing to not allow other people to put their trauma on me. Choosing to, when I'm in the middle of the biggest messy shit, which I am right this moment, I see joy in the littlest things.
Yeah.
And that way I'm seeing joy constantly in small doses.
Yeah.
And happiness without having to wait.
Yes.
For joy to come to me. So choose your joy every single day.
I think the one thing that I took from my parents that it was very positive was their ability to always not forget the crap, but see the good in a situation, however small.
Always looking for the silver lining.
Yeah, it is. But that has served me really well as well as I grew up and as I went out into life. I can make jokes and I can see the funny side of things, even if life's a bag of dicks. That's what you have to do. You find those rays of sun.
Let's change our addresses so the bag of dicks go somewhere else.
No more bags of dicks.
I have a list of people that can receive the dicks that I don't want.
Yes, same here.
Male dicks, no thank you.
See, that now we need to put that on merch. We need a t-shirt with just, here's your bag of dicks, and just send it to assholes that we don't like.
Fill in the address. Yeah. I think there's actually a service that does that you can send out a bag of dicks.
Probably.
There is. Be. I've seen it.
So gross.
Oh, Kellen put on that list of name your thing again.
Name your vagina again, and it was you and Claire Heinz-Stevenson who was like, no.
No. On that list of last names, there were only 2 last names that included the word penis. And one started with S, the other one started with W. My married name is SW. And
so yours is, so I'll do the full SW, so CSW, which is Grumpy, Penis Glove, Penis Flytrap.
Neat.
Mine...
I don't think the first name your fanny was any better to me.
It wasn't. It doesn't like you very much, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No. Mine was Princess Angry Beaver. And I was like, do you know what? A couple of
days
a month, that's quite true.
That hits so right.
That was quite funny. We've got... just while we're talking, I'm looking on the group, and we've had an abundance of people joining. So
we have. We're going to be at 500 really soon.
Well, we're at 456 now.
Yeah, that's 500 really soon because
because
it was only a couple of days we hit 400.
Yeah, it went a bit nuts, and I don't really know how, but awesome. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to our rambling group.
Maybe by the time this airs, we'll be up 500. That'd be really cool. Speaking of April, this is my birthday month.
I know.
I am going to be 38 this month.
That was the age that I was when I met Catherine. And at the the very beginning of June, we'll be at 18 years.
That's awesome. I'm now at the age where I never thought I'd get to. You know, when you're a kid and you think of ages that you're like, wow, that seems so far away. Mm-hmm. 38 seemed like a lifetime away. And I'm like, well, fuck me, I'm there now.
Oh my God, you were born in 86 then?
I was born in 86. I was. And I had this conversation with Kellen. My birthday has always been a bit crap.
Yeah.
Never really had a good birthday. Just the Titanic sank on it, so I think that would kind of just set the precedence for everything. A bunch of people died. I went to a funeral on my birthday.
Yeah.
That was pretty bullshit.
My mother-in-law died on my birthday, the very first year.
So it's not great.
No. So that was my 38th birthday.
Yeah, oh jeez. Well, hopefully mine will be okay. So
yeah,
all the way up to 29, my birthdays were, not all of them were like tragic, but they were just, they were not good. Bad stuff just happened. And it was only when I got with Ange, and I said to her, I was like, she's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, I don't want to plan because something always goes wrong.
Right.
And then I think she broke the curse. It was when she took me to Berlin for my 30th, and every year she made sure that she did something really nice for my birthday. It wasn't a lot, but it was just so that it was just lovely. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't actually want to do anything for my birthday because I just like to have just a nice day.
I got fired on my 50th birthday.
Did you?
I did.
From?
My first editing job.
Well, I'm hoping that I don't get anything bad happen to me on my birthday. That'd be nice.
Let me rephrase that. My first editing job where I was being trained in a publishing arena.
Yeah. We're still going to the restaurant for my birthday, aren't we?
Yes, I was going to bring that up. That, Catherine is very excited.
Okay.
So, yeah, we want to join you.
Awesome. So, there we go. That's going to be fun then, hopefully, isn't it?
Yeah. I never know what's going to happen with Catherine.
I know.
So, I mean, she might show up and be really clear and then have a scotch and then entertain the fuck out of us.
Yes.
And that's what we're hoping for.
That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for that one.
Or she could have, like, a bad moment and just fall out of her chair.
Okay. Let's not hope for that one.
Well, that's just a normal thing.
Yeah.
She does that on the regular. Just falls out of her chair.
So we'll keep fingers crossed off the bed. That we can get some scotch down her and she's going to be just hella funny.
Yeah.
Awesome. Also, for anybody who actually listens to this podcast because you're a reader, there is going to be a sale on my books for my birthday week. Just Neat. There you go. And Broken Parts Included will be in that. So there you go.
You know what else is awesome?
What's awesome?
My best friend of my whole life that I met when I was 15 years old, who is my platonic soulmate, has the same birthday as you.
She does. Dustine.
Dustine has the same birthday as you.
How old is Dustine going to be this year?
How old am I going to be this year? She's a year older than I am. So in August, I'll be 55.
55.
So she'll be 56.
56.
Yeah. She don't look 56. She's hella hot. I look like I've been fucking run over.
Oh, Crystal.
Yeah. Last November, we were in Las Vegas together. And in the 39 years that we have been best friends, we've never seen each other without clothes on.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the way I was brought up. And, like, the day of my wedding, she walked into the room and I was in my underwear. And I panicked, which made her panic and scream, "You don't have to do this! You don't have to marry him!" And I was like, "I'm in my underwear, get out!"
It's underwear panic.
Yeah, but she was right. I shouldn't have married him. Yeah, we shared a hotel room, and that meant there was one bathroom, and she was in the shower. And I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I had to pee so bad. And I thought about, like, running down the hallway because I knew that JJ Aries was down the hallway from me and banging on her door.
And asking to use her toilet.
I know we've only met once, JJ, but I have to pee really bad. But I did not do that to her.
Do that.
Call out JJ. I love your books. I went in, blindfolded myself, and screamed at her to look away so that I could use the toilet. And she just stood there and laughed at me. Like, because she has no problem. She's like, "Yeah, I'm naked." And I'm like, "Yep." Yep.
Yes, you are. Oh, shit.
Yep. You're hot naked. I don't need that in my brain. I've never needed to have gay panic over your naked body. Get away from me.
I remember having a gay panic now, and that was when I was probably 16. So before I came out, I was part of it's called the girls. It was like an Air Force thing, you know, for kids, whatever. And we went to do a charity walk. It was like 50 kilometres we had to walk or something stupid. And we went to an Air Force base where there was acting service men and women. And we had to share a bathroom. And there they have communal everything. Yeah. So you've got a bunch of like 16-year-olds and I was very much aware I was gay. And then you've got a bunch of really hot air with me just stripping down, and I did not know where to put my face. I was like, oh my, I wanted to die. And I thought, somebody's going to walk in, see the look on my face, and instantly know I'm gay. Yeah. You know, so that was gay panic. I do remember that now.
I was like 10 or 11, and we got a gym membership for the University of Utah's gym.
Yeah.
And they had communal showers. And I didn't quite know I was gay yet, but there were just a lot of naked people and naked women. I was shocked. I was so shocked. I had never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And, like, my mom was not shy about being naked at all. Like, during the 70s, she would, like, whip off her shirt and run through a bar. And just, you know, she had big boobs. And she's like, "See them."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Mom! No!" So, yeah, the exploits of my mother that I heard about, you know, I don't know how I became such a fucking prude. I really don't. But I was. And I remember, this is my coming out realization. I was at dinner with my mother and her friends from work. And so I was 15, and she told the server that it was my birthday, just to humiliate me so that they would sing to me.
Yeah.
So they brought me a cake, and the server was this adorable 20-something girl. And inside my brain, at that moment, I went, I am actually gay. I'm gay. I'm gay for that girl. And then a couple months later, we were like in Hawaii as a family, and there was a singer, a night lounge singer, and I decided that she was really hot. And for some reason, I was like flirting and winking at her in the bathroom.
That's not creepy.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was not good at it. I've never gotten better at it either. I just, you know, hello. For those of you in You Can't See Me Land, that was me, like, blinking my eyes in the weirdest wink moment ever. Or I can do finger guns too.
Oh, finger guns, that's a good one. Hey, babe. Love it.
Yeah. So, luckily I taught my son how to be better at flirting. Not that he needs it. He's autistic. But it really, he has problems with social interaction. But he could pick people up.
Yeah.
To the point where his sister was like, I hate you because the guys you bring home are better looking than the guys I bring home.
Yeah.
That was back in the day when he brought guys home. He's since married and has a lovely wife. Yeah, none of the kids in our family are like strictly straight. They're all on the queer spectrum.
I'm still thinking about the shower room where I saw very naked ladies in the RAF.
Before personal grooming?
No, not really.
Oh, yeah, my life is before personal grooming, sorry.
If I was in that situation again, I would still go bright red and not know where to put my eyeballs because
right.
I'm not being creepy, but if boobs are there, I can't help but want to look because, boobs.
Yeah.
Right?
My phone was ringing in my headphones.
So I don't think I'm going to find myself in that situation again. I can't think of a reason why I would be in a communal shower again because now I don't like public.
Oh, my son found the nudist beach in.
I would genuinely try a nudist beach.
Would you?
I totally would.
I would not.
I absolutely
I'm still
would.
At my core a prude.
No, I really would. I think
for my own body.
Yeah, when me and Ange went to Corsica last year, there was a couple of nudist beaches on the way we were travelling, and I would have genuinely given it a go because I think I would have actually felt safer there than on a regular beach.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's one in St. John. There's one in Notre Dame. I haven't ever walked by them because they're farther down than the beach that I ever go. Yeah. But there's a TikTok person that is American. She's married to a French guy in Lyon, and she's a journalist.
Yeah.
And she talks about her experiences with the naturist and how accepting they are, and how she's always felt so much safer in that environment.
I think I would.
Because if a single man walks up and in any form acts inappropriate,
yeah,
the whole group comes together.
Yes, it's a absolutely strict no.
Yeah. There's
nothing like that. I think that's why I would feel safe.
Yeah.
When I was, how old would I have been? Maybe 14, 15. I used to go on holiday with my parents and we went to Cyprus. And over that summer, I grew boobs out of nowhere. I was a bit of a late bloomer. I just all of a sudden grew boobs. Anyway, this place that we went to had, off the beach, had like a little island.
Uh-huh.
So if you got there early, you kind of claim this island for yourself. And we would go there. And my mum has always gone topless when she sunbathes.
Yeah.
Not an issue. And I got to the age when I was like, Mum, can I go topless? And she was like, I tell you what, why don't you go in the water with, the inflatable donuts?
Yeah.
She says, go in there so you are hidden, but you still watch. So I was like, all right then, I'm not bothered. And we were with a friend, and her mum went nuts that my mum had let me go on topless. She went absolutely. And my mum was like, chewy beans.
Yeah.
She's safe. Nobody can see her. Nobody's coming near her.
Yeah.
That's her choice. And I was like, yeah, and that, I think that set a thing for me that it wouldn't bother me to go topless.
Mm-hmm.
Where I met Ange was all female.
Yeah.
And the second time we went there after we'd met, we went back. And there was a couple there they were married, been together like 30 years or something. But they said, we often go find the nudist beaches and she says, we feel safe there completely. And they were quite happy to go topless and whatever. And I was like, yeah, I kind of want that freedom. I like it.
The only time I ever did that was, at the age of 15, I started working at a Girl Scout camp.
Yeah.
And then the next year, I went to another Girl Scout camp with that same group.
Uh-huh.
And then a couple years later, I joined that group again, even though it had changed a bit. But some of the main leaders were the same. Friends I still have today.
Yeah.
One of them is in our group. Elizabeth Lovely is from Girl Scout camp. Okay. And when we were in Idaho, we would leave when the kids weren't there. There were hot springs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we would go to the hot springs, and I would get enough alcohol in me to take my clothes off.
Okay.
So somewhere.
Have you ever been skinny dipping? As in
just that.
Just that.
Yeah.
You've never gone in the ocean skinny dipping or anything like that. Okay.
Nope.
I
know, right?
Yeah.
The things that come out of my mouth, and then
I think I've done it twice, skinny dipping. And it's very freeing. It's quite nice swimming naked. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it was at night. Was it at night? I hope so. I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't. We were out in the middle of nowhere. Like, seriously, in the Idaho National Forest.
Awesome.
Yeah. Then we went back another time with another friend that was not during camp time. And there were some creepy guys.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them was hitting on my friend. And he's such a douche. He's like, who are you to stop her from feeling and living her life? I'm like the closest thing to a sister that she has right here at this moment. So fuck off.
Yeah.
Take your dirtiness and go away.
Yes, absolutely.
So that was the end of the trips to the hot springs.
I finished a book today.
What?
I did. And it's by one of my favourite authors, Natasha West.
Ah.
I love Natasha West. Now, the book was not spicy. It was a bit fade to black.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I like about Natasha West is that her sense of humour is very much like mine. So I really like her books. So
I have read her books.
I've read all of her books. So this one is The Rise and Fall and Rise Again of Clara Wilde. So if you get a chance...
Is that new?
It is. It's her new one. It's good. It's humorous. Mm-hmm. I just really like her book. So I wanted to just say that. And I also read the dating show that you brought up. You know, you were talking about the triangle.
Yeah.
And when I was reading it, I was listening to you in my voice. I was like, yes, it was done really nicely where nobody was
hurt,
devastated.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And I also read one by Lise Gold, which was The Mirror.
Oh yeah.
Very profound. A lot of body image, so about bulimia and anorexia. Really, really good. And then I think it might have been one of her first ones, which was Lily's Fire. She's just redone the cover for it, so she's designed the cover, and that was really good as well. So I just wanted to bring those up. I can't bring all the ones that I've read because we'll be here.
What have I read recently? Let me turn off my video. Hang on.
My library, and the problem is that when I add things to my library, I have to read them in order.
Yeah.
So even though there's a book that's come out that I really, really want to read, I can't read it until I get to it organically. I can't pick it out because it sounds stupid, but it feels
Clara Wilde's in my
it feels unfair to read a book first when it got in my library last.
Yeah,
I know that's like stupid because it's an inanimate object.
I have OCD. It makes sense total to me.
So I've got several until I get to a couple that I'm looking forward to reading. The other ones I have no idea. I don't really know the authors, but actually that's really cool because I love it when I get to a book.
Hildred Billing has a new one coming out in the next couple of days.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I've got a couple that I think I've read one or maybe two of a certain author, and then I realised that they've got about 30 books out, and then I'm like, well, fuck me, I'm gonna have to read all of them now. That's the end of that, isn't it?
That's how I do it too.
Yeah.
If you find somebody that you really like, you just go and read everything they've ever done. Yeah. Then you move on.
But the problem is, but then it comes down to it. So if I read a book and I finish that book, and then I realise that, say, that there's more in the series or they've got a lot more books, I go in and add them all, and then I'm like, but I really want to carry on reading that style now.
Yeah.
But if I do that, I'm cheating on the other books that have already been in my library long enough. It's a real conundrum sometimes.
I know. I'm currently in the middle of, I don't know how to even explain it. It's kind of a futuristic, not really a handmaiden's tale, but it's by S.E. Chandler, and it's a trilogy, and I'm almost done with it, and it's really thought-provoking, and it's taken me away from my standard light fare of romantic comedy, so that's been interesting. And I'll finish that up today. And what's next?
Well, by the time this airs, it will be about 4 weeks.
Probably until... Clara Wilde.
Yeah, it is good. By the time this airs, it'll be about 4 weeks until Finding Molly Parsons comes out. I'm really excited for people to read that. I had a lot of fun writing it. And then a month later, the sequel comes out. So that's cool too.
So busy.
I know, so busy. And then hopefully by mid-April, I'm hoping to have finished my flipping Christmas novel because it's so... trying to get in a mindset of Christmas in late March, April is weird.
Although the weather has helped. We've had really shit weather.
Yeah, it's like gale force winds today.
Yeah.
We've had a warning on the meteo about the weather.
Yeah, Catherine's like, be careful driving because you'll just be blown off the road. And I didn't have any problems driving here, although I do realize that I have a headlight out now and I have to be home before dark.
Yes,
because I don't want a gendarme to pull me over for any reason.
You do not. Right, so I think we've covered some rambly shit, haven't we?
We have some totally rambly shit.
Total rambly shit. So we will be back at some point towards end April. I'm going away at the end of April, so we do need to get that sorted out.
Yes, we will get that sorted out, and then I'm away at the end of June. So are you?
Right. We need to.
We will both be in the UK.
No, I will be in the Dordogne.
What is the Dordogne?
Dordogne. It's like in France.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
I was just messing with you.
Okay, yeah. So my parents are coming over from the UK, so we're going away for a couple of weeks in the Dordogne. You're going to be in the UK.
I'll be in the UK. Kids are coming in from Los Angeles.
Awesome.
We'll be there for a week. I told Catherine that we have to go see Wicked on the West End. That also coincides with a big book event, the Self-Publisher Show.
Yeah.
And that's a 2-day event held at the South Bank Center.
Yeah.
Right next to the London Eye. But we are leaving before it starts, and I'm hoping to catch as many of the authors that are coming in for that as I can. I know that we'll have pre-show drinks the night before, and that is super, super exciting for me.
Yeah, I'm quite jealous I can't go.
Yeah, I had the option of staying for the 2 days, but the price to have a hotel room right there on the South Bank to keep Catherine next to me, I calculated it, and to stay 2 days, including the taxi drive to the airport and food and everything, it was over $1,200.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
Yeah. And Catherine would kill me if I spent that just for 2 days. Just to see
maybe
my
next year we can coordinate and be able to go together. Cause
I would love that.
I would love to be able to go. I think we'd have a blast. So
last year I was able to meet Harper Bliss there.
Yeah, Claire Lydon as well.
Claire Lydon was there.
Liz Gold?
I did not. She may have been there, but I don't think I met her, or it didn't register in my brain because I spent several days talking to her on and off throughout November at the show in Las Vegas.
Yes, that was it.
And it wasn't until the last day that I'm like, "Oh, you're Liz Gold," and she's like, "I am," and I'm like, "I'm a fan of yours." Because that's how I deal with things. And then I stutter.
Well, hopefully we can sort that out. If I keep it in my brain that's for next year, that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be...
You keep it in your brain and you keep me updated on whatever is going on.
Awesome.
Because I am living prety much hour to hour.
I know. I'll keep that in my brain. It's all right. We'll get there. Okay, cool. So we shall... ramble on at some point soon.
Right.
Please continue to be involved in the group. Put up your silly memes. Put up anything you want, really. Just be involved because we really enjoy it.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you later, Ramblers.
Ramble on.